Hey guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome to this very exciting review. I've been wanting to have this video for you guys for a while, but I actually really thought about it when I first ordered the palette and when it came in, that I really wanted to test it out and truly put it to the test with different primers, different techniques, and all of that stuff. Before I got my palette in the mail, I watched Nikkietutorials review, which is what prompted me to kind of think about using different primers for the eyeshadows. I know she does a different technique to where the eyeshadows look amazing and they blend amazing because she is a professional. So I decided to do that technique as well. Do like a wet base and then popping on the bright bold colors right away to see if that's something that just, you know, is what helped the eyeshadows look amazing on her. Of course, she is a professional makeup artist, so I know that her makeup regardless was going to be beautiful. I also used the palette off camera a lot to really test it out. Today I did this makeup using the palette. I didn't film it, I'm sorry. It kind of just happened because I was trying to figure out what makeup look to do, and I realized that I hadn't used the red eyeshadow. That was like the only main eyeshadow that I hadn't used, so I decided to do this makeup, and the color blend beautifully. Like, it blended seamlessly. It's pigmented. It's very out there, this makeup look. And you guys know I just love the monochromatic vibes all the time. Red shirt, red makeup, red lips, yellow, red, yellow. I really like this look. This is a Jaclyn Hill palette volume 2 in collaboration with Morphe brushes, which looks like this. I'm pretty sure we all saw how this palette looks. There's a lot of swatches out there. I'm not going to be swatching this palette because for me the proof is in the pudding, and I actually wanted to test the eyeshadows and really see how the eyeshadows worked, not on swatch, because I mean swatches are only good to see the colors. Sometimes a swatch can be very pigmented and suck on the eyes, or vice versa. It can be not really pigmented, but once you pack it on the eyes and you use it on the eyes, it's like amazing. So we're going to stick to the tutorials because I feel like the tutorials itself are going to show you how, you know, the eyeshadows work and how they perform. And obviously, you know, my experience with the palette, trying it out for a while now. The palette is $39 and it does have 35 shades. I do have the original palette. I have the very first Jaclyn Hill like collaboration palette. And by that I mean it's the first batch, I would say, because it's the one that still had the packaging that was super simple, that gets dirty super quick, that didn't have the eyeshadows names. They included this little card with the name of the eyeshadows and they stuck it up here. For me, this palette was amazing as well. I really liked it. I also bought the Volt, and I feel like I got the good batch of the Volt. I know a lot of people didn't like it. Some of them were a little dry, I would say, but overall I did like the Volt as well. I haven't used these palettes in a while because of course I try a lot of makeup and a lot of new palettes have came out since these, so of course some things get left behind. I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys have palettes that you haven't used in a long time, but that doesn't mean I don't like those products anymore. I do like them. I've just been using a lot of other products. So with that being said, I hope you guys enjoy the tutorials, and yeah, let's get right into it. Okay guys, so for this first look, I wanted to focus on the burgundy shades because they are my favorite shades. Now the purple shades are the ones that have been the most talked about from this palette for obvious reasons. And I feel like a lot of brands are, you know, bringing out purple palettes right now. But I wanted to focus more on the burgundy shades because those are my favorite shades. So I wanted to do something very wine burgundy-esque. I also wanted to do yellow. That's like the funnest pop of color in the palette, that yellow. I feel like I would like to pair this color right here with the yellow. It would be beautiful as well. I decided to do it in the inner corner today, and I feel like it's a very nice pop. Obviously you guys can see the yellow theme going on with the burgundy backdrop for the burgundy rest of the eye. So if you guys would like to see how I did this makeup look, well actually this side, then just keep on watching. Hey guys, so for today's second look, I am going to be focusing on the purple shades. Now, I'm excited. Obviously, you can see the theme, purples and pinks for this look. I told you guys in the first tutorial, I didn't want to try out the purple shades first and have a first bad impression of the palette because we all, and I'm pretty sure the majority of us, saw Nikkietutorials video in her tutorial, and the technique she uses, obviously I feel like played a big part in how the eyeshadows worked amazingly, because I also saw someone else's video and the purples were a hot mess. So I am kind of feeling in between on if the purple shadows will work well or not. So for today, we're going to be playing with those shades, and I do want to mention this because I feel it's important. I will be doing or attempting the Nikkietutorials technique, and I'm pretty sure a lot of other people do it, and a lot of people before her have done it, or a lot of other makeup artists, but I personally saw this technique first with her, and that's what I'm going to be doing. So she applies her P. Louise base and she does not set it, and she goes straight in with color. We're also going to be starting off with the darkest color. We're not going to be doing the typical style of makeup where you start with your light brown transition shade, or in this case I would have started with like a light purple shade to build up into those deeper colors. I'm going to try very hard at attempting her technique just so that I can see the difference and I can really put the palette to test. The first tutorial we did a very like my go-to, how I always do my makeup, how I always do my eyeshadow with any of my palettes, and today we're going to be doing something different. I'm excited because I've always liked how she does her makeup. I always think it looks beautiful, but I always think like, okay, I know I don't have the experience as she does. I know I'm not that good at makeup as she is, so I would be very scared to try that technique. After trying it today, I mean, this is the look. I literally tried to use as many purple shadows from the palette as I could, and I like the technique. I feel confident enough in saying that I would try it again, and I would try to incorporate it into my makeup because I am the type to wear this style of makeup and I do go out in it. I know not everyone does, but again, it's for the purpose of really testing out the eyeshadows and seeing if they really are good and they really blend good. So let me stop rambling and let's get on to the tutorial. guys, for the third and final look or test to this palette, I do want to use an eyeshadow primer, like your basic eyeshadow primer. But I also wanted to use an affordable one, and I wanted to use one that I know a lot of people might own. So on one side, I'm going to be applying the Urban Decay eyeshadow primer potion, the original one, which just looks like this. And on the other eye, I want to apply an affordable one that also I feel like, you know, if you don't want to spend a lot of money and you buy an affordable primer, this might be the one, just because Wet n Wild is very popular. So this is a Wet n Wild Photo Focus eyeshadow primer. And since they're both primers for the eyes, eyeshadow primers, I want to use them one on each eye just so that I can get more of a feel for the eyeshadows. We already did concealer, we already did a base, the P. Louise base, and now we're going to do a primer. I just want to try these eyeshadows with as many possible options of like a base, primer, and I feel like these are the best ones. So for today's look, it's going to be more of a toned down, simple look. Keyword, tone down. You guys know me, simple looks. You guys know my simple looks. So when I say that, it's not your average toned down simple look. It's more of a, I would say this is like a basic dramatic look for some people, or for others it might be extremely dramatic. I will be using some of their shimmery shades because I feel like I haven't played with those enough. So I want to do some shimmer on the lids, and I want to use more of the brown, like neutral warm shades from the palette, because I feel like for look 1 and 2, I feel like we used this basic area here. We did all the purples except this one, and then burgundy, I did like these burgundies right here. I also used colors from this row, specifically these colors right here. And then I did use some of them as transition, but you guys remember I did like the Nikkietutorials technique to where she applies her base, doesn't apply, doesn't set it, and then goes in straight with the deep color and no transition shades. So I feel like I want to show you guys that the transition shades do work, because I mean, I feel like if you mess up warm, neutral transition shades in a palette, then I mean, I would say for me, you're like, it's done there, because how hard is it to not mess those up, you know? There's plenty palettes that have those type of colors, and then they have colorful shades. The colorful shades are the ones that usually end up, you know, not being that great. But for the most part, I've seen from the many palettes that I own, the warm, neutral, browns, light colors like that for the transition are always good. So let's get on with the look, because
next level. Next level.
what did you guys think of the tutorials, of the looks? Which was your favorite look that I did in this review? Let me know in the comment section down below. Basically, my rundown of the palette: it blends beautifully. The colors are pigmented. They are a bit powdery. Like, some shadows are definitely have more fallout than others. It's not a big issue for me. Obviously, it's something I do have to let you guys know. It is a bit powdery, and some eyeshadows have a lot of fallout. Do your eye makeup first and then your foundation, or apply, you know, something underneath to catch that excess powder that falls. But overall, I like the palette. If this wasn't a collaboration with Jaclyn Hill, I would have still bought it. I didn't buy the palette because of Jaclyn Hill or because it's her that collaborated. I bought the palette for the actual palette, for the colors, for the color story. That's what I bought this palette for, the love of makeup, because I still have a very true love of makeup. And for me, it's more important to talk about how that palette worked rather than talk about all the drama and everything about Jaclyn Hill. I don't have time for that. I feel like if you came to this channel, to this review looking for that, you weren't going to find it here, because I really don't care about that. I mean, there's so much drama, there's so much negativity, that I just want to focus on the makeup, which is what I love doing and what I love. I love makeup, and that's my that's my 2 cents on that. If you don't like Jaclyn Hill, if you don't like Morphe, if you don't like this palette, if you don't like the collab, that's totally fine. If you're over their collabs, totally fine. Everyone is entitled to their own opinion. All that I ask from you guys is that you be respectful in the comments. Please don't leave any hate, negativity towards anybody. Please, if you don't like Jaclyn Hill, that's fine. Keep it to yourself. I don't want to read it. If there is rude, mean comments like that, I'm going to delete them, because it's 2020. We need to get over the negativity, and we need to spread more positivity. You don't have to support anything. You don't have to support anyone. You also don't have to be nasty about it. So I'm just leaving that there. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys enjoyed this review. I really put a lot of work into it, and I'm actually very proud of it. It took me a while to do it. It also took me a long time to edit. This video was over an hour long with all the tutorials, but I'm very proud of it. I hope you guys enjoy it. I take a lot of pride in doing tutorials for you guys, because they are very time consuming, and I like to play it all up. In every single look, every different day, I do a different background, different accessories. You guys, I mean, you guys can tell. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching, for all your supports. Don't forget to share this video if you liked it, and yeah, don't forget to subscribe if you haven't. Leave a big thumbs up if you liked the video, and like always, I will see you all in my next video. Bye.